This episode of the Blue Collar Real Estate Podcast brought to you by Stacy Mayo and the Scott Miller team at Ruoff Mortgage. Whether you're buying new or refinancing, Ruoff has a solution for you.
And there it is, Greg Mayo, Ryan Herget sitting here. It's Blue Collar Real Estate, and it is Friday at 5, my favorite time of the week. What is going on, my brother?
Live at 5, my man. It's amazing how much has happened since I saw you at 8, right?
It's been a busy day. It's been a busy day. It's been a good day. It's just been a busy day.
Man, dude, great day. It's today. It's beautiful and sunny in Indiana, 75 degrees.
Yep.
I'm driving through downtown with the windows down, listening to Dokken and Queensryche, and just having a grand old time.
It was a good day. It was a good day. I was up on a couple really, really big, nasty roofs today, and it was fun. We had a good day. Got some good videos. We'll be posting tomorrow on that. So
you're gonna post on Facebook tomorrow, right?
Yeah, we'll be posting on Facebook tomorrow. I'm gonna show everybody how to walk down an incredibly steep roof tomorrow in about 15 seconds. So I'm excited. Like, that excites me. Most people just think I'm crazy, but
so you're going to show people how to do that with that video of me spider crawling down the roof?
I do have that video, and just because I'm not a big fan of like making people not. I don't want to put bad stuff out. I never want anybody to feel bad, but that is a funny video. Like, maybe that'll be a TikTok video. Like when Roofco launches TikTok one of these days, that might be our first one, I feel.
Right on. Because I tell you what, I rock the spider crawl. I'm just saying.
You did a good job with that spider crawl. It was fun. But that's not what we're talking about today. We're not talking about getting on roofs and doing all that stuff today. We're going to kind of dive in. You've got some houses under construction now, which is uber exciting, and there's a lot going on. So we're going to talk about that today. And we're going to bring everybody up to speed on, what's it mean to like basically get a house under wrap, right? Know, where it's waterproof, where you can start getting things done. And we're going to walk people through that journey right now. It's going to be cool.
And we've done a lot of different subjects where we've done kind of a comparative, right? Yep. Contrast. With the two houses we have under construction at the moment, we're kind of doing that. One is being stick framed, like normal. I don't know, normal, but you know what I mean.
I mean, wood
right.
being used.
Would you like to know what the other one is?
I see what you did there.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And the other one we're doing is SIPs, structurally insulated panels. So we're still waiting on the SIPs. The wood for framing and sheathing we've had forever because Adam was smart enough to buy it before everything went bonkers.
Man, I paid $34.83 today for plywood. It's absolutely insane.
For a sheet of 7/16.
That was since we talked this morning at 8 a.m. and I told you I'd paid $34 and I think like 16 cents yesterday.
Wow.
Like, it's gone up $1 in the last, 12 hours?
I went and saw my oldest son out in Omaha a week or so ago. My wife and I did. And he and I were talking. He's framing a lot of houses right now. And he told me out there they're paying almost $50 a sheet.
That's insane. And, to that point, we were with a local builder, not a local builder, a national builder. I was with a client there about a week and a half ago right now. And there's a new clause in builders' purchase agreements. Get this. Because it's taking so long to build houses right now, because everything's so insane with the real estate market right now, on top of that, not only is it taking long to build houses, there is this massive shortage of materials. Like, they literally can't get materials. Like that shutdown we had for that COVID thing last year. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, it has changed everything right now, and you can't get materials. And so going back to the builder, there's a clause in their purchase agreement that says that they reserve the right to raise the price if material costs go up.
Wow.
During the building process, we can change your price if material costs go up, which they just have because, again, literally I paid at the exact same store, I paid 60 cents less yesterday for a piece of plywood than I did today.
Yeah. That's insane.
And when you're building a house, I don't know how many sheets of plywood are involved with building a house. I know that on the average roof, maybe call it 90 to 120 sheets for a 25 to 30 square roof. That's a lot on a house. That's insane, dude. And that's not just plywood, that's everything. And that's not what we're talking about on this show, but it's this insane dynamic at what's going on in the world today.
And it affects everything.
Everything.
Right. And it, to me, and I'll just say that the last time I personally sheathed a room addition with plywood, I paid under $10 a sheet for it.
Dude, it was $8.67 for a decade. And then all of that changed.
Oh, man. But so we've got some challenges with our building. Obviously, you're having challenges with roofing. But what I wanted to kind of talk about with the house on Arsenal, we're shelled in.
That's awesome.
We're dried in.
Yeah.
And
so what's that mean to people? Like when you say those words, those are contractor industry term words. What's that mean to the average person who has never done that before, who doesn't know what that means, but maybe has seen a house being built? It's like, that's kind of cool. I don't know anything about that.
Well, when you dry a house in, you make the inside airtight or watertight. I mean, I'm sorry, not airtight.
That'd be bad.
It's for the boy in the bubble. John Travolta, wherever you're at. Anyway, when you dry a house in, it's so no water gets into the house, right? When a house is framed, even when the roof's framed, you can still you walk through a house and you see water on the subfloor or on the slab. In our case, we have a slab. So what that means is your walls are up, your sheathing's up, at least your house wrap, and your roof decking, your plywood roof decking, and your roofing, and your windows and doors. So that's dried in. That's the stage we're at on Arsenal, and it's an exciting time because the gears turn really slowly. Imagine a truck with mudders on it trying to get out of a bog, right? At first, you're just trudging along. You're trying to get out of the ground. You get your footings, you get your foundation. For us, we're doing slab foundation, so we had to get the plumbing roughed in, and then we had to get backfill, and then we had to get the concrete. All that is really, really slow, and especially we were trying to do it over the winter, and you know how weird our winter was.
Takes time, yeah.
Then you get the framing, and then the windows go in. And now we're to the plate. We got roofing, we got siding, all the exterior trim, all the windows and doors. Now it's a party because now my HVAC guy can get in there, my electrician, insulation guys to drive what would.
It starts going fast. Like once you're like watered in, at that point, things can really start to fly because you can really control the schedule at that point. You know, prior to that, when you're building a house, it's really hard to control the schedule. Prior to being watered in, if you will, because, oh my gosh, the weather can change so dramatically day to day. And if it's raining cats and dogs outside, you're not getting up and you're not putting, you're not framing outside. You're not going in and pouring a foundation. You're so, suspect to what's going on with the weather. But after that, all of a sudden everything changes and you can start to fly.
And those job sites, right, once you're dried in and you have some nice days and whatever, that is the energy there is just amazing because you got all these different trades running around. Everybody's busting chops and doing their thing, and there's music playing. It's a great environment.
It's good energy. I love it. Yep.
And so we got there with Arsenal, and the way we did the installation, and we got a video I shot last week of Adam, the builder, and a guy named Randy, who's the installation rep, and we're going to talk about that installation and let him kind of explain why we went with that. But I thought now that we're shelled in, and one of the biggest things is insulation. You and I talk about green, we talk about energy efficiency all the time. So I thought, let's talk about the different kinds of insulation, what they are, some advantages, disadvantages, and then we'll get to the one we use, which to me is the Cadillac of insulation.
Right on.
And we'll talk about that, and then we'll move on to sort of what's next with the project.
Look forward to that. That'll be fun. That'll be a ton of fun. So let's get, actually, I've got one little side story before we get started. So I stopped to buy a house today when I was on this big steep roof. It was up in the Sagamore Golf Course community up on the north side of town. And I was doing a roof repair last week on another customer's house, and then there was a roof that was basically kind of watered in. Right? They had a synthetic underlayment on the roof. And that synthetic underlayment was still on the roof today when I drove in to go do a repair on another house. And so I just kind of stopped in there because I was curious, right? I was like, is this actually working? Because the synthetic underlayment we use, which is a Raptor product from Reese Wholesale, but they actually will say this is going to watertight your house, not forever, but for about 6 months. This is going to watertight your house. Like it will work if it's installed properly, etc.
Better than felt paper.
Way better than felt paper. Also way safer than felt paper for anybody walking on it, etc. But yeah, so there was a synthetic underlayment on this roof, and it was installed properly. And I walked into the house just kind of see what was going on and just introduce myself, and this house was dry. I was super, super impressed. Like I'm, being a roofing contractor, I'm way too scared to do that. Like I'm not leaving somebody's house under that ever in my life. Right. Like we're getting that thing done. But it was dry. I was so encouraged by that. Like I kind of geeked out on it because I was curious because it had been a week and we've had a lot of rain, the last week, some heavy rains, and it was dry inside, and it was really, really cool. I kind of geeked out on that. So anyway, side story. Moving on.
That's boss. I love that kind of stuff, and I hate walking on felt paper. Just for the record.
Yeah, that makes two of us.
So, insulation.
Yep.
First, I want to talk about what you see every freaking where.
Yep.
Ground up newspaper with chemicals in it.
Yep.
Also known as, cellulose. So, Jason, pick one, please. Clean up on aisle 1.
There it is.
Is that gross looking?
It's dirty, is what I will say. I mean, it works well, but it's dirty and it's nasty. And I was in an attic first thing this morning with cellulose insulation, and I still have it all over my socks.
Oh, yeah.
It's just nasty.
And when you do anything with it, if you got to move it to get to a light fixture or whatever, it kicks up in the air, it gets all up in your nose and your sinuses. Yes, it's effective as an insulation.
It's very effective.
And it's super, super cheap.
Yep.
You get, the average house, maybe 20 or 30 bags to blow in. And that's how it's delivered, by the way, through a blower.
In the attic, yep.
Yeah. You get 20 or 30 bags, and the place, Home Depot, Lowe's, whatever, they'll give you the machine for free.
Yep.
But you're going to be covered in that stuff. I don't care what you're wearing.
I mean, you literally have to wear a suit. I've been involved, and this is 10 years ago now, with an install with cellulose insulation. I mean, you literally have to be hazmat suited up. You have to have a respirator like face thing on, because it is such a dirty install. Now, again, I think the product absolutely works. I think there are dramatic advantages to cellulose insulation over maybe fiberglass in some cases.
Yeah.
But at the same point, the install is absolutely insanely dirty. And if it gets, aggravated, or you have to go up in the attic and do anything, it is beyond less than pleasant. So from the standpoint of yes, it works, and it works super well. It's treated with all these fire retardant chemicals, because in essence, it's ground up newspaper, right?
Right.
It's ground up newspaper, and it's treated with all these fire retardant chemicals. It works well. It also is resistant to a lot of animals that could get in there because they don't like it, because there's these chemicals in it that keep pests away. But at the same point, man, you don't want to have to ever get up in that attic again. If you could design the perfect house with a perfect roof and never have to touch that thing again, it's probably a good product for that. But beyond that, not for me.
And I'm excited because our house, which was built in '78, that's what's in the attic. I've talked to contractors about coming out and sucking it all out so I can do something different.
Yeah.
Like right now, I have to change both the exhaust fans in both bathrooms.
Yeah.
Because the house is built in the '70s, the exhaust fan's mounted on the sidewall on a 1-foot drop down over the shower, which means I've got about 2 feet of cellulose to dig through to even get to it.
That'll be a good day for you.
I'm so excited right now. Can't even tell you. The next one's also a blown-in option.
Yep.
Right? And it's fiberglass. Now, that looks like a pretty pink cloud.
That is an Owens Corning special picture right there. I use that in some marketing as well.
So you can notice there's collar ties here, and then we have sheathing on the outside, which is not plywood,
right.
Regular 1x boards.
Even more expensive.
But yeah, so fiberglass, we still blow it in, right? And the products that are out now, remember when we were younger, fiberglass was super itchy. You got it anywhere and you just itch for days. The stuff they have now is not.
No, it's really good, and I've done several installs with this. This is, the one in this picture right now is an Owens Corning Attic Cat insulation. It's a blown-in fiberglass insulation, super, super effective. I'm a big, big fan of this, particular product right now. It's what we install at Roofco. It's a good product. It doesn't degrade over the years, meaning you don't lose R value. It doesn't settle, if you will. It's fire resistant.
Yep.
It's a great product. I'm a big, big fan of the blown in fiberglass insulation, especially when we're talking about attic insulation spaces. So
I am too. And if I had my druthers and I was going to blow in insulation, this would be the product.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it's super clean. I mean, I've done, I don't know, probably a couple dozen installs with this product, and I mean, nobody wants to get in an attic and install insulation, right? There's nothing sexy and glamorous about that. But if I'm comparing that versus the one experience I had, spraying in cellulose, I'll take this one every day of the week, because yes, you still want to suit up a little bit, and yes, you could get a little bit itchy, but it's not too bad. Like you said, it's not nearly what it was in the past. And I think there's a couple manufacturers out there that have blown in fiberglass insulation right now that are just fantastic products, and I could not endorse them more.
I agree, and hopefully they'll endorse us.
Right.
Anyway, the other fiberglass product is what's called a fiberglass bat.
Yep.
A lot of times you see them in the walls. In this case, and sometimes we see them in an attic, right?
Yep. Especially in some older homes. Homes built prior to the 2000s. It's super common to see the bats installed, between the rafter frames, etc. So
now, a couple problems with this picture is that the insulation only comes up to the ceiling joists, which are these wood members, right?
Right.
So that's not enough insulation
at all. I mean, that was enough insulation back in 1982.
Right.
Today, it does not meet code at all. You know, like if you're building a house in central Indiana, and I can't speak to code in other parts of the country, but in central Indiana, it's R38, which is, you know, depending on the type of insulation you're using, anywhere between about 12 and 13 inches, 12, 14 inches, et cetera, you know, which is going to cover, you know, the wood. And, it's a decent amount of insulation up in the attic. Now, I think the Department of Energy recommends that we're at R60 for insulation in attics based on our, geographical region, easy for me to say. But laying in the bats is good, but one of the things that we've seen over the years, I've gotten super involved with like using thermal imagery analysis, especially this winter. And what a lot of times people don't do is they don't seal, and if you're not on YouTube, hop on YouTube real quick and check this out, but they don't seal the air gaps. They don't put like a caulking down between the drywall and the framing. And so this type of insulation's okay, but it also leaves a lot of air gaps as well when you use bat insulation. So
and the only thing you can really do if you're going to use bat is then crosshatch, right?
That's it.
Go perpendicular with another layer, and at that point, it's so ineffective cost-wise.
Yeah.
That why would you do it unless you already had, like, if your attic looked like this right now, maybe that's your solution.
Blow in on top of it, yeah. But you can just blow in on top of it. You can take this, you can pull it up, you can seal the air gaps, and then you can blow in on top of that. And again, not a fun job, not a clean job, but can easily be done.
Yep.
Maybe not easily depending on your attic space, but get it done.
So. Now, before we get to the next picture, this one I'm excited about.
I know. We've learned a little bit about this in the last year or so.
I love weird green technology,
right?
Like stuff that you wouldn't just think of, and somebody did, some guy or girl thought of it and made a product, and you're like, brilliant, So imagine taking your britches, your jeans. We're both wearing jeans today. Yep. Jason is not wearing pants. That came out wrong.
Thanks for calling me out. No one would have known.
I think the rubber ducky boxers are boss. No, Jason's wearing shorts, but we're wearing pants. These jeans, they now grind up and make insulation out of.
Yep. It's a denim insulation. You can find it any major box store. Not maybe any, but most major box stores out there, etc. So
Home Depot's got it, Lowe's, Menards, I mean, all of them. And the pick, Jason, if we could. To me, that's just cool.
I think it is cool. And one other dynamic to this that I will 100% attest to, and this is probably 4 or 5 years ago, I was out a builder in Las Vegas, and they were, promoting that they did this. They used this type of insulation. And they had a bucket, right? They had a 5-gallon bucket you get anywhere. And they had this just absolutely deafening alarm, right? And they dropped that alarm in this bucket and then put a lid on it. And I'm not joking, Greg, you couldn't hear it. Like the acoustic, I don't know what the word is, but dampening of it, you literally couldn't hear this alarm after you put the lid back on this bucket. So the acoustic value of this was absolutely insane, and I'll never forget that because I was like, that's weird. And then I was immediately like, that's cool.
Right. And that's one of the benefits, right? The soundproofing, if you will. Another benefit of it is it's more dense than fiberglass.
Yeah.
And so you get a better R value from it too.
Yeah.
And the ancillary benefit, or maybe for some people the primary benefit, it's a recycled product.
A recycled product, yeah. And we've done many a show on that throughout blue collar real estate. So
and just recycled product and jeans are cotton, by the way.
Yep.
It's not a chemically manufactured product. It's cotton, and then to pants, and then to that. And blue's my favorite color. I think that looks cool.
I do like blue. I'm more of a black person myself, but
I hadn't noticed, Johnny Cash.
That black looks great against the black curtains too. By the way,
I like blend in. It's basically like a green screen with a floating head. I feel, and some wires running right here.
See, I got my Ruoff sleeve that kind of makes my arms stand out.
Yeah,
but
totally makes you pop.
The Scott Miller team at Ruoff, Stacy Mayo. Heck yeah, got some nice swag there. That's what I'm talking about.
My wife gets me Ruoff swag, and then I just drive around all day, advertising for her. But so
free swag.
And then you turn it into insulation.
See what he did? That was fantastic. Jason has shown up today.
So I'm excited.
Ready to rock.
Now, can we jump to the one I'm excited about here? You actually installed?
If we do the crisscross thing, ready? Jump.
I don't know that song. I'm sorry. Actually, I do. I've heard it.
I picture Ryan driving around all day listening to Kid Bop or something. I don't know what he does.
What? It's more like Bon Jovi, anything from the 80s, basically.
Yeah, no.
That's how it, like 80s rock and roll.
We'll talk about XYZ later.
Maybe some 70s rock and roll.
That 90% of what I do.
It's good living.
We're on air. Getting ready to start talking about music.
Yeah.
So the next one.
Here we go. So it is the spray foam insulation. So I'm excited because you've just done this. This is what you guys just installed. So tell me about this product. I've never been involved with this. I don't know a lot about it. I know it's super effective.
It's unbelievably effective. And Randy will talk a little bit about it. The rep from Superior Insulation. I had to shut him down when we were shooting the video.
He had a geek out moment, did he?
Yeah, and he knows so much. And I'm like, dude, you've lost all of us.
Like all of us.
But what Randy would tell you is that our value doesn't really matter that much. Mm-hmm. It's about infiltration. The spray foam, unlike in an attic, if we can go back a couple pictures, Jason. Unlike in an attic where it's all down here and your rafters are up here. Now everything above that insulation is either cold or hot depending on the time of the year, right? Yep. So with spray foam, what we'll see in the video is it's up in the rafters.
Yep.
Meaning your ceiling joist, your ceiling, your wiring, wiring a lot of times runs through the attic, your fixtures, your light fixtures, the exhaust fans in my bathroom.
Right.
They're all easily accessible, visible, and whatever. And also, if you have ductwork running through the attic, which we will have on the houses we're building now, the air's already warm. You're not fighting against.
Right.
So it brings so many different things from an energy efficiency standpoint. Plus, the R value, although Randy says that doesn't matter, is way better than any of the products we've talked about so far.
So that's what I'm curious to learn about from this video because, again, I've never installed this product, never been around this product a whole lot. I've only seen it. I know that it works. I've seen tons of videos on YouTube and researched it, but I'm excited to learn what he's going to share with us because it seems to me, logic would say, when you're spraying it up in the rafters, right, that now you've all of a sudden got this enormity of space that you're conditioning, right?
Yep.
And that seems less efficient from the outside looking in, but so I'm excited to see how he talks about that and addresses it as we watch the video.
Hey folks, Adam Knutson, Military Grade. Here back on the Arsenal project. Today we're getting into spray foam. We had this thing spray foam this week. I got to be on Tuesday, and it's looking awesome. As we like to try to say, let's try to make spray foam sexy. This is Randy Cook. He is the guy behind EcoFoam. Well, formerly EcoFoam, now Superior Foam. He was the founder of EcoFoam, and you guys sold last year and became Superior Foam.
Yep. Bigger is better.
Bigger is better.
Helps keep the costs down.
Well, we hope. So, Randy, I tell you what, can you give me some benefits on why we choose to? I know the reason I do this.
Very good.
But can you tell the people on why we choose to do spray foam?
It's pretty simple. Unfortunately, the public is educated incorrectly in that more is better. The most important thing is that you understand what your product is, what it does, and how it does it. Well, the great thing about roofs that are sprayed with spray foam, this open cell, is that it's a leak finder. If at any time you have a leak of any kind, the water will come through it with gravity straight down. It's not going to run, soak, or anything else. It comes straight down. You see a spot on your ceiling, and I've got a spot to fix on my roof. Go up, fix it, it's done. The foam doesn't mold, mildew, it tells you where your spots are.
So, Randy, I choose spray foam for a few reasons. The main ones are air infiltration, and the main thing is we don't have to have any kind of soffit vents, ridge vent, turtle ducts, whatever. We don't have to have that. Now, what is the benefit of that to the homeowner?
Quite a bit, because first of all, you don't have to worry about the air coming in and destroying everything on your house. It's all sealed up. It has no particulates.
So that means for people that have allergies and those type of things. That means a lot to them, right?
That's a huge difference. And respiratory challenges are escalating. So we want to stop the outside from coming inside and make it clean, comfortable, energy efficient.
And that's one thing as a builder is what we're really trying to do is get a clean environment inside the house, make the house healthy. So if we take away the moisture, which spray foam does, take away the bugs, the particulates, all these things that degrade the house from the inside out, and we control the air, that is a huge bonus to the end user.
That's huge.
So, and one of the things is you do, I'm sure you're gonna get this a lot, houses need to breathe, right? So the real fact is houses need to be conditioned properly. And how does spray foam help us do that?
The most important thing is you bring fresh air into houses and you exhale the stale air from the inside.
Control.
You control.
Control it.
Correct.
Right. So, Randy, in the future, what do you see for spray foam?
Well, spray foam's been growing in the industry quite a bit just because A, it makes financial sense on the utility cost.
Not up front, now we're talking on the backside that people don't understand.
Right. But immediately, the upgrade on using spray foam pays for itself the first month in energy savings. It's simple, stupid.
Right. It's simple, stupid. What it comes down to, folks, good builders know this material. They know everything they have to do to make a house that's gonna perform for you long beyond the years that he's gone. So, and Randy has been, you know, I introduced him on my live show as a geek, and I tell you what, we love geeks because I married an engineer, and even though he isn't one, but he talks like one. He knows his stuff, and that's the people that you need to do things like this. Have a livable space. So thank you, Randy. Thank you for everything you guys do. Terrific job. I just wanted to point out a few things. I mean, we really have a great product at the end of the day. We don't have any of the dust and any of the blown in insulation that we have normally with a normal attic.
And it's incredibly quiet. What'd you say?
Huh?
Yeah.
What?
Oh, okay.
Thanks again for joining me here on Arsenal. This is Adam Knutson, military grade. Randy Cook, Superior Foam. I appreciate you coming out today.
Very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
So this seems super cool. It seems super cool. It seems like it's definitely going to work, and it really checks most of the boxes, if not all of the boxes, as far as maybe items that, you know, like the dirtiness of cellulose, maybe inefficiencies of some fiberglass insulation, especially the bats, etc. It seems like a pretty great product. What's the biggest takeaway that you had from learning about this and actually installing it?
Well, and first, I gotta say, that was me shooting the video. I'm not a videographer. I thought I had potential. Jason said,
Next time, turn the camera that way.
That way.
So it fills up the screen.
There you go.
See?
There you go. You're
Lesson
not shooting an Instagram video there.
But, or a, what,
TikTok.
Tic-tac.
Yeah, the tic-tac. You're going to want to go home and talk to your kids about tic-tac. That's what you're going to want to do.
TikTok.
But anyway, so I shot the video, and I had to have my son splice them together and whatever. But you can tell Randy is a wealth of information.
Yeah.
That product, to me, it's what I'll be using in the next house we build, because he sold me. Now, we talked about this at the home show a year and a half ago now, when you and I were there. But it's just an amazing product. It's the way things are going. The noise dampening, the fact that if there's a leak in your roof, it comes straight down. The fact that you're not pumping air into your roof. The fact that you've got clean attic space. I mean, I could go on and on.
See, and that brings up something you just said, and something that Randy said as well, that I definitely have questions about, you know, from this. And this is not a topic for this show, but I definitely want to reach out, because attic ventilation is one of the main reasons why roofs deteriorate fast. And I was on a roof 2 days ago, and this thing was maybe 14, 15 years old, like halfway through its life, and it was destroyed because there was no ventilation. Well, this goes right against the roof decking, so I definitely want to pick his brain and understand better how this like coexists with roof ventilation, because Adam said you don't need those soffit vents now.
Right.
You don't need those ridge vents now. So I've got some educating to do and to learn more about this product.
Well, I will connect you with Randy.
I look forward to that.
In the show notes, if wherever you're watching or listening to this, I will have Randy's contact information or the company information for Superior. There's so much to learn about it. He explained why you don't need him to me.
That didn't make the final edit, apparently.
It did not, because there's a lot there. But
and we don't want to lose the entire audience on that. We just simply want to introduce a superior product that obviously is working really, really well, is gaining a lot of popularity throughout the country, and obviously is a much cleaner way to install and insulate your home.
Yep. And next time, we're going to have mechanicals rocking.
All right. So
the inside of the house is going to be going. I can't wait.
It's basically going to become alive. We got electrical, we got mechanicals going in. The house is going to come alive.
We got to get that clip from Young Frankenstein. Gene Wilder going, "It's alive."
There you go.
We have to have that.
That's on you. So that is going to wrap it up for this episode of Blue Collar Real Estate, everybody. I am Ryan Herget, sitting here with the main man, Greg Mayo. Thank you very much for tuning in. And if you took anything away from this episode, be sure to hit that like button. Reach out to us. We'd love to help you out in any way that we possibly can. Be sure to subscribe to Blue Collar Real Estate. Greg, did I miss anything?
I don't like, share, rate, and review.
There you go.
Out. Y'all have a great weekend.
See ya. Thanks.